Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get through some news here today and just going to talk about planting pace and crop conditions. Manitoba Ag is the first one to put out a report. It came out not yesterday, the day before, but it's always, the government is not all that fast. If you want to talk about government efficiency, you usually can't use that word at the same time. Anyway, you can see that the planting pace is a little bit behind pace. Oh, I got a marker on here, but anyway, big arrows, I guess. It's at over 50% planted. And what it's also stating here, spring wheat seeding is at 75% complete across the province. Oilseeds under half the provincial canola acres have been seeded. And again, it's a few days old and fantastic planting conditions in the last few days. And man, oh man, if you can say anything about farms, they've definitely tooled up over the last few years to be able to plant even faster than they normally have. Iran war, U.S. and Iran exchange strikes, so the market is up a little bit on both the Brent and the WTI. Both of them are blaming each other. I think Iran just keeps on playing into Trump. This is a forever war. This is going to last a lot longer than Trump can stay in power. Uh, Fertilizer, it's been a bit of a topic the last few days as well. You can see here the fertilizer has come off its highs as far as the new crop corn ratio, but it's still extremely high. The cost of buying urea fertilizer is still high. I believe it's still going to be quite high, especially if this previous statement, if the forever war actually continues, ramping up and rebuilding and taking the place of the states there that are the countries that produce fertilizer that go through the Strait of Hormuz is not going to be bypassed at any point in time. They're going to find ways to getting fertilizer to the market. That is for certain, but it's just going to take a little bit more length of time. Crush margins are just through the roof. It's just absolutely bonkers. The crush margins, seed prices relatively too cheap versus what the oil and meal prices are. Now, Brian Camo had talked about crush margins in a few weekends ago, and I do believe it's a great uh, place to go back to and have a look at that. But crush margins on soybeans are just through the roof as well. I think it's like 370 or something like that a bushel on the cash price. Like it's just it's just ridiculous. Anyway, so let's get into the heat here. The heat is, we've got some weather warnings across Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. You can see here, this is how it plays out. You can see that the heat is building for later on today and into Friday as well, where it's going to be extreme heat, and then it starts to cool off. It's Manitoba seems to be getting hit with the heat for into next week, and then cools right off. Still got some high temperatures expected there, but U.S. the same thing. You can see the heat to the north, but and how it plays out here as well. And then there's heat coming back into the west after all that. Just pulled this from Eric Snodgrass. Yeah, model probability forecast of precipitation for June, July, August. You can see Manitoba, Saskatchewan is got drought risk there. So it's we'll have to see how that all plays out. Your 7-day forecast, Alberta looks like it's going to get some significant rainfall. Just a quick look at the markets here. So canola is up 670 on November, so at 774.40, making new highs. Rapeseed trying to break out at 529.25. Soybean oil is not making new highs, but getting close to it again, 75.91. Palm oil at 44.60. Ringgits. The crude oil is up $2.54 a barrel, and the Brent is up 2.66. Diesel fuel's up 7 cents. Soybeans are up 9.5 at 11.94. Spring wheat is basically unchanged at 6.81. Hard red winter is basically unchanged at 6.69, and Chicago wheat is up 4.25 at 2.26. Corn is up 4.5 at 4.57. Canadian dollars down again. And here I'm going to maybe just demonstrate the difference between July. July is the front month, or the nearest, the closest month, and that's the one we have to pay attention to. Even though I keep talking about November as our new crop, this is where the trend change that's most significant. If it's going to be making a change, a lot of times gaps happen in farther out months, and it doesn't happen in the nearby month, just because of um, length is put into some markets, without. Yeah, anyway, it's the month that you should be paying attention to is right here. Anyway, and so if you look at it, uh, here's your November contract. We broke out, so we're breaking out. I would say that's a change here, and it looks like, if you're looking at slow stochastics, that would be a, you still would have sold here, but you never got to uh, a buy signal. Anyway, that's just using slow stochastics here. But when you look at it in US dollars, we never got to the same high as that we were at before. And if we do the comparison to year to date soybean oil, so this is your soybean oil here, this is soy oil. It's up 51%, and your canola is up 22%, priced in US dollars, and that's how it's basically bought. So European rapeseed here, you're up against trying to break out at that 530 level, and if you look at it in US dollars, you would have to go a little bit higher if you can draw a straight line, I guess. Soybean oil, not breaking out yet. The breakout level is at 70, let's call it 77-cent level. Here's your crude palm oil, and your crude palm oil in US dollars. Shifted a little bit higher on this wedge. Crude oil, Green Day, the firing going back and forth is not going to be positive for crude oil. Brent, positive again as well. And here's your diesel fuel, and it's green today, but we've had quite a few days of downward movement. We'll be looking for this 320 area as a true breakout. Diesel or gasoline, green as well, but it's pulled off of its highs as well. Here's your Canadian dollar. It just keeps on giving, and that's what's helping the canola price as well. On the Canadian side, we're priced in US dollars. It's muted. Canadian dollar just farther out, looking for, if we get past that level, the next level would be at 70.8, and next catch level would be down at 69. US dollar index, just a backed up view, so it's been gaining in strength, but the S&P and NASDAQ have been doing nothing but just keeps going straight up here. Quick look at wheat. From its highs, it's pulled off quite substantially. A support level would be down at $6.92. Your December level would be support right around 7.12. And on Kansas, we're right at support, and very close on Chicago as well. Here's your French milling wheat, not wanting to break out of the top end, but pulling back to some of the longer term moving averages, your 100-day. And corn breached that downward move. Now we're trading right at that level again. Quick look at the meats here. Live cattle had some pretty good trading sessions back in the green from last week, and same thing with the feeder cattle and the hogs back in the green as well.